Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome back again to our Pastor's Chat. So we're glad that you are tuning into this channel, and we love seeing that a lot of people are viewing and watching it. We're having a good time with this, and we're just thankful that during these times that we can continue to keep you updated, and we look forward to keep doing this in the future.
Yeah, and today we're joined by a special prop. What's this we got in between us?
Yeah, so right here, I think everybody, if you're on our Facebook group, you know what this is, and we want to talk to you a little bit about this. We recently started a group on Facebook called Calvary Bible Fellowship Church Coopersburg. It's a place for us to be able to interact with each other. We want to rub shoulders with each other because during this time we haven't been able to catch up with each other. We haven't been able to be in person. So we created a group for us to do some fun things like talk, answer some silly questions. Yesterday, what was the question, Dave?
Oh, that was a great question that you all put out there about if you were quarantined with one Bible character, who would it be? And so there were some great answers there.
Oh my goodness, not just great answers, but it was neat to see that so many people from our congregation were responding to the question. I was just laughing at so many of the responses on there. So I didn't get to answer, but I wanted to write that mine would have been John the Baptist because we only know a little bit about him, and he seems like such a bizarre guy that I'd want to know him more.
I mean, he could have scrounged for food for you wherever you are, right?
Yeah,
You may not have wanted to eat the bugs, but...
Yeah, a nice bowl of locust stew. Yeah, delicious. So now what we got behind us, this is the, what you want to call it, the jar challenge. It's a typical one that you probably remember that happens on a regular basis, is that you need to guess how many golf balls are in this jar, okay?
Do you know?
My guess is 3,000. So I think I'm close.
That may be how many dimples are on the golf balls. But...
Oh, yes, there you go. But yeah, so you need to guess in the three closest guesses without going over are actually going to win a really cool prize that I think is really neat. We're giving 3 gift cards away.
That's right.
One of them, the 3 gift cards are going to be the Coopersburg Diner, Wedgwood Golf Course, and the Inside Scoop.
All local businesses.
Yeah, so we just thought it was a neat way for not only for us to give our people stuff to do right now, because you can go get some food at the curbside at the Coop. I recently saw that Inside Scoop has curbside, and Wedgwood is supposed to be opening soon. Yep. And we want to also support our community and our businesses that are in our community. So we hope you guys get excited about this. I hope you find some good guesses. So remember, again, it's the 3 closest guesses that don't overget, are not above.
Sure, and so just go on that new Facebook closed group, join that group if you haven't already, and put your guess in for how many golf balls are in that jar.
Yeah, and again, to search that group, it's Calvary Bible Fellowship Church Coopersburg. You need to search for it, and like you said, it's closed, so you need to request to join, and then you'll be let into that group. So we hope you enjoy the questions and the interaction that's happening online on that group. So yeah, so... Well, David, a lot has been going on. A lot has been going on in the news. We know that this coronavirus has been the talk of everybody. All of us have had interactions with people and how people are dealing with it. And we wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we did. And part of the thing that we are noticing is that there seems to be a couple of different responses. Isn't that right?
Yes.
To all of the news, and I think there's 2 extreme responses, and then all sorts of things in between. But we are Christians, and we're family of God, and we're church family, and we're together in this. And I guess before really kind of diving into how those different responses affect us and how coronavirus affects us, I wanted us to think a little bit about how we are to relate to each other through this time period. Because even if we come through this and everybody's happy and healthy and businesses thriving, but we are at odds with each other, then there's a sense in which we've really missed out and we've failed. So how would you think that we can best go about relating to each other now and in the time once we come back?
Well, I've been thinking about this and trying to do a little bit of reading, but one thing that I've always been I'm always reminded when I'm in tension with a fellow brother or sister, or there are things like this that happen. I'm always reminded that the teachings throughout the whole Bible are so clear that that Christians are supposed to be people that we are at our core, we are loving.
Mhm.
And not just loving, but you see the word unity. We see the word that we're a body that's supposed to be working perfectly together, that's
Mhm.
the goal. And we know that we're Christians and sinners, and that doesn't always happen. But everything I read is that Christians are supposed to be, even though we are different and we're going to be at different opinions, we're supposed to remember that we have one central um, goal and this one central calling, which is the gospel and
Mhm.
our love for the gospel and the love for each other. And I'll just share a verse that I was just looking at and thinking about, which was Romans 12, Romans 12, 14 to 20. It says, bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight. Repay no evil for evil, but give thought to do what is honorable in the sight of all. If possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Beloved, never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. To the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink, for by so doing, you will heap burning coals on his head. This just has just been a reminder to me that the most extreme situations that could put us at odds, we're still called to live in harmony.
Yes, be at
Um,
peace, united.
yeah, and to know that we're gonna have people that are one way all the way to this side, and the other person's all the way over there, and even in my own household, that when this first came about, I tended to be on the side that was like, oh, whatever. And my as I talked to my wife, she was more in the school system. She was hearing this is pretty stressful, and if I had just come to her and downplayed it, it really could have caused a lot of tensions. But soon enough, as together, because we're a husband and wife, and that should be the most unified stronghold in our lives, we worked through that to I realized that she's not wrong. She realized at the same point my wanting to be okay in life was not, maybe a little too far, was not wrong. And we came together to realize that this is a problem. We need to we need to take care of our family. We need to handle it. But then on top of that, we need to take our different differing opinions and be together.
So that's a challenge inside of a family with two people. I think sometimes it's a challenge inside our own selves, right? Where there's
Yes.
just one of us trying to come together. Now we expand that out to a
Yeah.
church of hundreds of people, and we say, how do we come together?
Yes.
And I think it's important that we realize we don't all have to come to the same conclusions. We don't all have to believe the same thing
Yes.
about the way to interpret the events of the world around us, but we do need to love each other, and we do need to give grace to others who view things differently than we do. It's certainly been a discussion in the elder room. I say elder room, I guess elder online chat,
Elder Zoom.
video.
Zoom.
Yeah,
Elder
elder
Zoom.
Zoom. There we go. That uh, that we are making sure to listen to all sides, and that
Yeah.
we are making sure that as we think about the timeline for reopening the church, that we don't go too soon so as to not scare, well, as to be a matter of concern, not just for our people, but for the surrounding community as a testimony, but that we don't wait too long
Yeah.
either. And so there's this balance and tension, and certainly we're still in that timeline of waiting to see what our government officials permit and allow, and that stuff continues to change. I received some new and good information even today, and I expect more to continue to develop.
Yeah. And I think we wanted to encourage our whole congregation that it's okay to have conversations with
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
It's okay to be handling this in different ways, but
Hmm.
to remember that it's not it's not something for us to get angry with and then end a conversation in frustration because the other person didn't agree with us.
Yeah. And I think something you said about your conversation with your wife was very significant, is that she was in a different place. She was in the school system.
Yeah.
And so she was getting um, her viewpoint, taking in information based on that. And I'm seeing that very much so as we talk with and hear from our healthcare professionals in particular that are saying, hey, this is significant what's going on. And we're also hearing from our business
Yeah.
owners that are saying, hey, being closed, this is killing us. This is significant. And so something we want to affirm is both can be true.
Yes.
Both can be right. It's a challenge medically, it's a challenge economically, and there's no perfect solution to it. And so, again, why we need to have grace with one another and see that people are coming from different perspectives.
And I think as we get ready, as things we start to see the impact, right? I
Hmm.
think we need to remember that one of the wonderful things about being a church that uh, wants to proclaim the gospel to the lost, and also a church that we have finances, is that there are going to be hurting people.
Hmm.
There are going to be people that lost. There's going to be all different. There are going to be people hurting from losses, people that are hurting from financial loss.
Hmm.
But as a church, we are we want to be that location that people go to because they know that that place is a place of grace and love where they can get help. So if we have hurting families
Yeah,
financially,
yeah.
we want to
I
help
mean,
them.
and we've seen that in our own church family. We've
Yes.
had people physically suffer from coronavirus, and we've had people being laid off
Yes.
from work and their businesses being closed. And so, I mean, we've seen all of that inside our own church family.
Yeah. And our response to that as a church is we can help people.
Hmm.
We can love, and we can, what the passage said, we can mourn with the people that are hurting. And then when it comes to money, the Bible does talk to us about caring for our neighbors all the way to the point that we can provide and help them financially. And that's why you've been seeing that as we've been streaming live, and that's been part of our church. Our deacons have always done an incredible job of
Yep.
trying to care for those. And now more than ever, we have that opportunity. And I wanted to put that on here as well, as say, if you do know people that are hurting, that are
Hmm.
struggling, let us know so that as a church we can extend that type of love.
And don't be surprised if you receive a phone call from our deacons. They are intentionally in the next week or so trying to call every family in our congregation
Wow.
and see how they are doing physically and financially, and just help in any way that they can. So really appreciate the work that they are doing.
And we want you to know that, like David mentioned, the elders, we're in discussion about our path forward. And
Hmm.
right now, we don't have defined answers because it is a very tough thing
Yeah.
to know. And as you wait and as you're handling what the government is telling us what to do, but on top of that, as a church, what do we think is the wisest decision?
Hmm.
Everything from, I've been still laughing that what is the measurement of the pews?
From front of one to front of the other is
Yes.
33 inches.
I just like that Dave knows now the measurement between from the front to the back of our pews. So
Which, even if you go every other pew, is hard to do 6 feet. You
yeah,
can't.
right.
It's not enough. So I mean, we're talking about different ways to space things
Yes.
out so that you can have family groups together and still have whatever capacity we're allowed to
Yeah.
have inside the building.
So we don't have answers, but we are going to the right lengths to know what's best and to think about it so that when we are ready, that we do it in a great way that is encourages our community and also for our church, for our own people, that our people know that we are being wise with the
Yep.
decisions that we
And
make.
we'll be communicating all of that as we
Yes.
know, but
Yeah.
you can be assured that we are intending to continue live streaming so that
Yes.
those who are in the more dangerous, vulnerable groups will be able to still experience church even from home. And we are looking at, we're continuing to keep the church clean and look
Yes.
at steps to how to space things out and use everything to the best of our ability.
Yeah. So we're excited, but the good thing is I've been so thankful for us to be able to be doing this live streaming, that we've been able to keep our people. I've been loving getting all the encouragement that our congregation has been thankful for live streaming. So many comments, people telling us, we need to continue this when we get back together. But that brings us that Sunday is around the corner.
Sunday is always coming.
Yes, and
Yes.
I have been loving that we've been doing this series of the Tell Me Why, that we've been peeling back the questions that are stirring up inside us about different issues. We dealt with Tell Me Why. What was our first one? I have a blank there for a second.
That was over 2 weeks ago.
I know, right? What do we tell me? So we are.
First one was, if God is good, tell me why pandemic is happening.
Tell me why a pandemic is happening. Now we're in tell me why bad things happen to good people. We did part 1. We talked about Joseph.
Joseph was in part 1.
Right. And now we're heading to this week. We are part 2. Dave, all right, give us a little.
Okay, so tell me why bad things happen to good people. This week we are looking at the life of Job. And if you ever want to consider why bad things happen to good people, Job is the second best character in the Bible, practically.
Oh, you ranked them.
Well, yeah, I couldn't put him above Jesus. and I see him a little bit better than Joseph, because Joseph was a bit of a tattletale on his brothers, you know. But Joseph was pretty good too. But Job hadn't done anything to deserve what he got, and he suffered dramatically. And Job never finds out why. And so as we look at why bad things happen to good people, we are going to see again that God is in control. God is working together all things for the good of his people. But we don't always in this life find out what God is doing. We are called to trust him through the times that we suffer.
And I'm looking forward to that sermon and that message too, because that, like you said, Job had everything. He really did. He was wealthy. He had a family, and a wonderful family, and not only in a healthy body. And we see in that story that everything is taken away except his life, right? And so as you're thinking, as some of us are we're handling some different situations, all of us are in a sense have lost something in this. We're going to be going to a story where a man loses everything, and there's moments where he goes to the Lord in his frustration.
And he's saying why, and he's saying this isn't fair.
Yeah,
you know, he had the idea of, I've followed you, God, and so I ought to have good things happen to me. And God says, who's in charge here?
So join us this Sunday for part 2. Tell me why bad things happen to good people. All that information, you can go to our website. You can also, if you have subscribed to our YouTube channel, it'll let you know that we're live streaming. Or you can hop on Facebook and find it on our Facebook page of Calvary Bible Fellowship Church.
Yeah, and let us know you're there. Chat, comment.
Absolutely.
It's great to see all the people interacting on a Sunday morning.
Yes, and be sure, so for our regular attenders, that number that we have up there, the 610-708-1100, we want you to use that every week to text here to that number. I saw one of our members said that, I added that as Calvary Church in my phone. I think that's a good way to do it. Make it a contact in your phone, and each time you check in Sunday, right here, and that's kind of a way we're tracking the people that are here, and you're also able, if you have questions, you are able to text back. So, well, once again, we are so thankful that you've been tuning into our pastor's chat. So we enjoy the interaction. We enjoy catching up.
Absolutely.
So we hope to see you on our next pastor's chat.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
See you later.
See you later.